Every action a user takes on a computer is logged and recorded by the operating system. These log files are useful tools for administrators to diagnose and troubleshoot issues a user might have on their Mac. Some organizations may require that this data is collected and stored for a period of time for security or compliance reasons. Computers with Jamf Protect can report as much or as little security data as required by your organization and send that data only to the locations that meet your organization's compliance standards. This is Zach. Let's explore data management in the macOS Security Portal. By default, security data from enrolled computers is only sent to the Jamf Protect cloud. For example, if a process is blocked on a computer and generates an alert, that alert data is sent to Jamf Protect Cloud. Data forwarding allows administrators to pass additional data onwards from the Jamf Protect Cloud to a third-party data storage solution, such as Amazon S3, Microsoft Sentinel, or Google SecOps. This includes alert data, as well as baseline rules, unified logs, and telemetry data. We'll go over these terms in a moment. Administrators can also configure data endpoint collection, sending data directly from each enrolled computer to third-party services. For example, if my organization uses a Security Information and Event Management solution, or SIEM, like Splunk, I can configure my enrolled computers to send their data directly to Splunk for analysis. As with storage solutions, endpoints can send alert data, unified log data, and telemetry to SIEM solutions. The Unified Logging System on macOS provides a central location to store log data on a Mac. This log can then be viewed, filtered, or streamed by an administrator to manually troubleshoot errors or detect threats. Telemetry configurations are specified in the macOS Security Portal to collect specific data from endpoints and forward it to a SIEM solution for analysis and record keeping. Telemetry data consists of system and user event log data that helps administrators proactively monitor and detect threats in their environment. Let's explore how each of these data management options can be configured in the macOS Security Portal. Starting on the dashboard, navigate to Actions in the sidebar. Click the default action configuration. Here, we can configure what data is collected when an alert occurs and where that data is sent. By default, the Jamf Protect Cloud section here specifies that this alert data is only sent to the Jamf Protect Cloud, and only for high, medium, or low severity alerts. Using the checkboxes, we can add or remove alerts from this configuration by their severity level, or opt to collect telemetry or unified log data as well. Note that data forwarding must be configured to collect telemetry or unified logs. Additional data endpoints may be added with the blue Add button above. This allows data to be sent to third-party tools like a Kafka browser or SIEM solution via an HTTP endpoint. See the Jamf Protect documentation for more information on configuring endpoints. Scroll down to the Alert Data Collection Options heading and use the plus button to expand the section. Here, we can configure each data attribute collected from an enrolled computer when an alert is generated. The buttons to the right can be used to quickly customize what is collected. Minimal, to collect only the essential data about an alert. Everything, to collect all available data from an alert. Or Custom, to pick and choose precisely what attributes are collected. Alert Data Collection configuration is enabled by default and is available whether or not data forwarding is enabled in the macOS Security Portal. If your organization does opt to enable data forwarding, several additional data management options become available. Click Unified Logging in the sidebar. Unified Logging is built into macOS to provide a central record of every event that occurs on a system. This data can then be filtered using programming expressions called predicates to show specific event data. For example, we can use a predicate to filter the unified log to show when a user logs in, or when a password is successfully changed, or when a screen sharing connection is inbound. These predicates can be customized and written manually. though if you're just starting out, Jamf maintains a repository of unified log filters on GitHub that may be a better starting point. Select the question mark button for more information, and then follow the link to the Jamf Protect community repository. Each of the .yaml files in this repository contains a unified log filter that can be added to the macOS security portal. Let's add a unified log filter to check for outbound airdrop transfers. Select airdrop transfer outbound.yaml from the list. Contained within are the name, description, predicate, and tags for this filter. Return to the macOS security portal and click Create at the top. We can now copy over the data from GitHub to each corresponding field in the macOS security portal. Make sure when copying the predicate to only include data between the first and last quotation marks, as they are not needed when adding a filter manually. Tags can be chosen from the menu at the bottom. If you have not added any tags yet, type the desired tag in the field and choose the Add option that appears in the menu to create a new tag. Once each field is entered, click Save at the top to save the log filter. This filter is now active, and any events from the unified logs on your enrolled computers that match this filter will now be sent to the data forwarding location you've set up in the macOS security portal. Telemetry data can also be sent to a third-party management solution. Select Telemetry in the sidebar, and then click Create Telemetry. Enter a name for your telemetry configuration. I'm using 170 Telemetry, and then add a description if desired. Next, we can select one or more telemetry event categories for this configuration. Each of these 7 categories covers a different type of security event that can occur on a user's computer, and including that category in our telemetry configuration will ensure that event data is collected. For instance, Applications and Processes includes information about application usage on a system, audits all process activity, and detects execution of unauthorized or unsigned processes. Selecting users and groups will detect and log user account and group changes on a computer, as well as unauthorized account creation or privilege elevation attempts. For a full breakdown of what types of events are covered by each category, see the documentation linked in the description. For our configuration, I'm selecting each checkbox to include all available data. Note that after this telemetry configuration has been deployed to computers, we can return here to edit and optimize what data is collected. Next, under Advanced Logging, we can opt to calculate and include file hashes in our telemetry data. I'm leaving this unselected. We can also choose to include diagnostic and crash reports, as well as performance metrics for computers using this configuration. I'm leaving these unselected as well. Finally, if there are any specific log files we'd like to include from our enrolled Macs, we can click Add Log File at the bottom and enter the file path for the desired log. Since my computers are enrolled in both Jamf Protect and Jamf Pro, I'll collect the jamf.log file with my telemetry data by entering /var/log/jamf.log in the field provided. With that set, this configuration looks good to me, so I'm clicking Save at the top of the page. Telemetry configurations can then be added to a plan in the macOS security portal to start collecting event information from computers assigned to that plan. Click Plans in the sidebar, and then choose a plan from the list. Click Edit at the top, and then scroll down to the Telemetry menu. I'm choosing the 170 Telemetry configuration we just created. Click Save at the top to save the plan with the added telemetry configuration. There are many different options for collecting and managing security data from enrolled computers in the macOS security portal. Depending on your organization's needs, data collection can be customized and tweaked to precisely fit your organization's security compliance, and then forwarded to the storage or management solution of your choice. We've just scratched the surface of what's possible with data management in Jamf Protect. Be sure to check out the Jamf Protect documentation in the resources for more information. Thanks for watching.